You have said that when it comes to Iraq, the U.S. needs to keep its hand on the throttle. Do you think we took our hand off the throttle after 2011?
Jake, I learned maybe two lessons during almost 40 years in the Middle East. The first is be careful what you get into. Interventions can have 30th and 40th order unintended consequences. The second thing I learned is be even more careful what you get out of, because disengagement can have graver results than engagement in the first place. I would argue that we didn't do either very well in Iraq. I think we still have time to help the Iraqis get back on a stable course, but we're going to have to move quickly, and we're going to have to move with determination, and we are going to have to move both politically and militarily. Secretary Kerry's visit, I think, was very, very important as a signal of re-engagement. He met with all of the leadership. He met with King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia. I would imagine that the Secretary and other senior officials in Washington are working the phones pretty hard right now. And once the government formation process is completed, I hope very much the Secretary will return to Iraq and the region.
As someone who spent so much time and energy trying to make Iraq work, since 2011, have you been reaching out behind the scenes to the White House and others in the Obama administration, urging them to do more to make sure we did not have the crisis that we have now?
I've been making the case for engagement for some time, both publicly and privately. I'm sorry it took such a major crisis, one that does threaten our national security, to bring about that engagement, but I'm glad that it's happened.
We're hearing now that militants from ISIS have gained control of what's believed to be the largest oil fields in Syria. This is a group that has a lot of resources, money, stolen weapons. If they're able to take over oil fields as well, does that require more aggressive action from the U.S. than we're even doing right now?
It's a great point, Jake. This is what I call Al-Qaeda version 6.0. Far bigger, far better organized, better funded, better equipped than was the Al-Qaeda of 9/11. So I would argue that while our boots on the ground role should be limited to advising, as General Dempsey points out, I think we've really reached the point where we need to be seriously considering and executing very carefully targeted airstrikes against facilities that they hold, against their command and control nodes, and against their leadership if we've got them in our sights.
In Iraq and Syria?
In a sense, the Islamic State may have done us a favor by publicly erasing the Iraqi-Syrian border. If they have, I think we should too, and go after their targets wherever they are.